Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me. I am Tamara Jean, your awakening mentor and wellness astrologer here on High Vibe TV, and that will soon be transforming into something else as I have been completely, I know everyone is going through a whole frequency recalibration, and that return process that I've been talking about for quite some time now, right? And this video to assist, of course, we are now going to experience the full moon in Sagittarius, which is highly potent. And right there, we just had Jupiter move into Cancer, and there is a lot going on. So this, and of course, I am just going to go straight into the energetics, just like I did my last video. Seems to be wanting to be more of a channeled transmission at this time rather than going into specific transits at this time. I may mention them, of course, but this is more of the transmission that wants to come through me at this time for all of you. And so this is Self-Healing Collective. It's one of their newer ones, and it is 528 hertz, the miracle tone. And I really like how there's this like tree of life up here at our third eye. Of course, we have, right, the cosmos and light being holding in her hands. And there truly is, with the energetic landscape currently, a connection that's really taking place between stars and soil. And this is about anchoring and embodying that soul wisdom and truth reverberating, ringing within you. And so this full moon in Sagittarius is very much a release of what is soul aligned, right? It is illuminating our inner truth and giving us the opportunity to release that what is not. And what we are moving into, and more of a conscious realization, is that we're not here to fix Earth. We're not here to fix things. We are here to harmonize it. And so, right, there's such a distinct difference between those two. And as we are going to experience, and it's so, of course, brilliantly, divinely aligned, as the cosmic map guides us, the timing always perfect, that the full moon in Sag assisting in that release of false, I'm going to say false truths, right? All that isn't, I keep seeing the word unreal. Everything that's unreal going to fall. And you doing this process consciously with the full moon energy, and as it wanes, continuing to empty out these, things that are unreal, the false truths and such. You are moving yourself into better alignment and preparation for the upcoming solstice next week. That is a harmonic return. It is activating. It is very internal, this solstice. A big internal activation of solar codes that are coming in. And so during this process, leading up to the solstice, and I'll be back here on Friday the 13th this week, with more information, but you may be really experiencing some physical discomfort, whether it is detoxification symptoms, physical aches and pains. It is going to be either been really feeling it on the right side, which is that more masculine line structure, right, external movement. And so you are releasing ancestral patterns of survival, control, or forced action, right, based on these old beliefs or false truths. Those, I keep hearing the word too, ideologies, like all of that of the past. And as the old patterns and structures unravel within you, it can be experienced on the right side, especially in the hips or the knees, your joints. This is where old structures are stored in the joints that are no longer aligned. Isn't that interesting? How we experience what we call arthritis, which is joint inflammation or inflammation of the joint, when we're older. And so much has set in, right? And like we say, set in our ways, right? When someone is elderly and right, or not willing to change, it starts happening. And so be mindful and allowing the unraveling and the release, because this is right, you're feeling what's no longer aligned with your body's new architecture. This is frequency architecture. If you're feeling it in your hips, your knees, this is your foundation, and you're preparing it for realignment, for upgrade, upgrading energetic scaffolding of your path. Left side is the past. So you may also be releasing. You may not be remembering your dreams right now, because so many are releasing, receiving all those, upgrades, downloads, those new codes. And so there is need for deep integration. You may be sleeping really hard right now because that is required for this process and integration. And any kind of clips that you may be remembering for a brief amount of time, right, that may be like unpleasant or unsettling or what have you, that's a release, releasing that, right? No reason to hang on and really put a lot of energy and focus on those things, on those rememberings of that, because we don't want to have that in our system. We want to allow it to release, right? So there's quite a lot that is happening currently, and the solar flares that we had and those really intense geomagnetic storms have been landing in our field, and therefore then kind of shaking, like I'm seeing the lightning card in the Akashic Tarot, right? Where the lightning bolt strikes and it lights things up, right? It illuminates, and including there's like puddles of water that is illuminating, and this have been, right? So if you can imagine that it is your foundation, okay? And this is getting into the cracks of the foundation and illuminating what has been needed to be addressed and changed for quite some time now, right? And what is necessary, right? Changes that are necessary to align with your divine frequency, your soul truth, and that new upgraded energetic architecture landscape within you, the changes are necessary. And so this lightning strike that we can, right, energetically, right, the storms and the flares that have been coming in have been doing this. And now with this very potent full moon in Sag, illuminating all of that and really illuminating your path. And now, like, it's time that this is the time we rise. Like the time we have been waiting for, really, for so long. And like, when is it going to happen? When's it going to be time? And all of these things. We've been doing it in a matter of speaking, but now, like, the next, let's say the next layer of the bigger picture is now, it's here. And so this is going to be, I hear monumental shifts, changes, timelines. And so to align or continue to align with your highest timeline, therefore in the collective highest timeline, release is necessary, right? These changes that reveal themselves to you during this full moon are necessary. And remember, like, I'm really being guided to stress this, emphasize, I don't want to use the word stress, emphasize, because we're backing away from that. Emphasize, we are not here to fix Earth, we are here to harmonize it. And that begins with you internally, right? This harmonization process. So the 528 hertz, and of course their beautiful affirmations that they put on the screen are amazing, right? Because the theme of solstice, this harmonic return that I'm calling it, is it is a soul remembrance. There's a lot of that happening. I know a lot of people that are having these experiences, myself included, right? We're all going through it in our own experience. And it's what I do love about the Tree of Life. I just keep hearing too, Tree of Wisdom, at her third eye, like there is an illumination, there's remembrance happening of your soul's wisdom that's really starting to come forward. And I feel like this is like, you know, with the earth and being on the earth, and the connection between, like I said, the stars and the soil. And many of you may feel like bridge workers, a lot of people that are resonant with the term starseed. Like there are things, codes being activated. There are things being activated within you. You may feel more inspired or inspired to take action, or, you know, whatever, be feeling the frequency, your field and your tone, meaning your frequency tone, be more prevalent, be feeling more, because we are moving, especially with Jupiter now at 0 degrees Cancer, moving from that more mental field, Jupiter in Gemini, to the emotions and the feeling, right? It's really going to like a process of anchoring emotional sovereignty and emotional embodiment, and actually feeling what's in alignment, right? Rather, and getting more into, it's guiding us more into that, that feeling, whether it's emotions or in the physical body, basically getting out of our mind so much because of the flipping the script, right, that I've been talking about for so long, in leading with heart and soul rather than the mind, right? That we've been leading with for a very, very long time. So let's see, I have the Priestess of Light Oracle deck that wanted to come through. So you may experience more detoxification as things release, and keeping in mind that this is like soul sovereignty, this process, and what we're moving into as we enter the solstice gateway and move through that, from moving from fear, lack, survival, those ancestral inherited codes and patterns, and into sovereignty, harmonization. So in addition to the 528, which is excellent for clearing, healing, and transforming, right? And within our DNA, our cells, our structures, I just feel this is very physical, as physical as it is energetic, if that makes sense. Oh yeah, and the bridgers, there's more information on that. With the bridgers, it kind of reminds me of like sleeper agents that get activated, and kind of like all of a sudden there's like another wave of awakening, a deeper awakening. Things just shift within you as your new architecture and codes come online, because this is going to be a very important time period for bridgers for a while here. So keep this in mind as we go through these next few weeks. Not fixing. We are releasing. It is dissolving. And we're transitioning into our sovereignty, soul truth, harmonization. So that's 639 hertz, which is harmonization, and it corresponds with the heart center, the heart portal, and also getting 852 hertz, return to divine order or spiritual order. And as you, perhaps with the peak of this full moon in Sag, which I know is 12:44 a.m. Pacific time on Wednesday, right? 3:44 for Eastern, so on and so forth, that perhaps having on, because it is in the middle of the night for a lot of people, 741 hertz, which is assistant detoxification, but emotionally, energetically, physically. So perhaps beginning with that and then moving into with the 528 and the 639 and the 852. Angelic assistance. Yay! We do have assistance. It is there, right? Divine guidance, loving support. It is card 6, which, yes, because 6 in angel numbers is all about your emotional and material needs are met. Remember this in the upcoming weeks, okay? This is preparedness. This is not survival. This is preparedness of your sovereignty. So there's a shift there. We have divine assistance, and we're really developing that connection and relationship even more, like within ourselves, right? With our own divine intelligence, soul intelligence, and the God self, and with source and our spirit team, right? The non-physical. Friendship. Oh, I love it. So really with our support, fun, unity, play, card 14. And this, and I have a card right on top that wants to come through. Grateful optimism. Such a beautiful message with these cards. Card 51, joyous view of the future. Okay, so I mean, I am sure you can clearly receive these beautiful messages through these cards of the angelic assistance, friendship, and grateful optimism, that we are not alone, and how powerful we are in ourselves, and as of course that we get so attuned to our frequency and our natural rhythm, right, which is has been activated as different planetary bodies move through that gate in the human design of, right, your natural rhythm, natural cycles, and that innate divine timing. You magnetize aligned friendships, partnerships, right, relationships, opportunities. And this is the direction, as chaotic and disruptive and just messy that the world is right now, that we're actually moving, right, and not fixing, but moving into more harmonization, that harmonic return. It begins with your own tone and frequency, and moving into allowing the old to dissolve and allowing the new structure and systems to emerge, right? They've been keeping on suppressing them, and it just, now it's not, it's kind of like a volcano, right? And we've been experiencing the earth quite literally moving, and I've been getting so much for quite a while again with the tectonic plates and the shifts there and the movement. So it's literally like physically being shaken up, and then of course energetically, and it's all being expressed through that, in a chaotic form. But remember that good old saying of about chaos chaos precedes great change. And so it is a reordering that is happening. It's not even rebalancing, like I mentioned in my last video, the cosmic, but it felt so much bigger than just like a rebalancing, because it is. I mean, there has been karmic rebalancing happening for so long universally in the cosmos. And now there is a true cosmic reordering happening. And we are experiencing that on planet Earth and within all of the structures and systems that are here, right, in a very physical way, because of, right, the being the third dimension and everything that Earth is, with the physical manifestation container and expression, that we are experiencing it with so many different senses here. And it is a massive shift. So really attune to that tone and frequency, right, in your heart center. And it is where we have energy with the current human design transit, is anchoring in our love and direction, our self center, and our will center, right, or heart ego center. So really, and it is this energy assisting in what is heart driven, right? And is it ego driven, or like will, but is it your higher divine will, right? So these are going to be what you are attuning to with this full moon energy. And as you go more inward and deeper, you know, and feel the divine support. And then I feel people coming into our lives, like we'll be having, you know, it may be new connections that you have, or these soul connections are that you already have are going to deepen and get stronger. All kinds of things like that. And so to really, and how important it is to hold that optimistic future. I guess it was at the end of the other video, and we're moved. I like this, of how it has moved. As I'm closing, got her hearts, and she has her hearts, or hands at her heart center, and it's very flowing. I love it. And to move into this place, right? Very heart-centered, and honoring and accepting and embracing your truth and your natural rhythm. And operating that way and breathing into that. And then you are aligned with your higher timeline and can tap into that joyous, optimistic view of the future. And perhaps even too, you know, after the release and everything, connecting with your future self and what they have to say and what you can do right now, right, to get to your future self's experience. Thank you all so very much. Yeah, I don't know what the whole restructure is with the videos and whatnot, so hopefully you found this, and that's great. And I will well, if you found it already, then you know I'm here. So say I'll make a post in the community, but you've already found the video. Anyway, have a wonderful few days, and I'll see you back here on Friday the 13th.